Well, hello again everyone, welcome to the channel, and this is the second episode of my new venture. Today I've not come very far really, just around the corner from where I live again, which is helping me immensely due to my condition, which we spoke of before. So I go past this field every day really on my travels when I'm going to and fro home, from home and going anywhere really. And then back again. I usually use this route and this road, so I see this field all the time, and I've seen it through all weathers, every week, all the seasons, winter, spring, fall, the summer, and it changes all the time. And I'm going to show you now. It's quite literally a beautiful little spot, quite secluded between the road. Well, I say secluded, it's got the road going past it, but as you can see, it's sort of a wide open panoramic landscape, and it's perfect for grabbing amazing landscape scenes, and it's going to be absolutely perfect for my next picture as well. I mean, look at the sky, absolutely fantastic. So there you go, you can see the tree and the field and everything there right behind me, and what I'm going to do now is take a few pictures, and then I'll decide on which one's the nicest one composition wise. Then it's back to the studio, and we're going to get onwards with that watercolour painting. I can't really sit too long, and I'm not able to stand too long either, neither of which really, what with the current condition, you know. So we'll get on with it, take the pictures that I need, and then it's back to the studio, and we'll work from there. In the future we're going to come to places like this, but I'm going to bring the chair and the easel and the brushes and the paint and the water, and we're going to do everything in the field, quite literally. So back in the studio again, and well, studio, the bedroom. Studio for now, makeshift. Anyway, got some photographs of my subject matter today for this watercolour, and I'm going to do it on I'll show you the sheet that I've got now, some more Fabriano. So as always with all my paintings, particularly landscapes, obviously landscape is to judge and find out where the horizon line is, and I'm around about here, so I don't mind using a ruler just to put in a false horizon. It's just as a guide really, and I will loosely put that line in there across that paper, and that's a guide for me just to help as I'm sketching out the rest of the drawing in a moment. So we're going to sketch in the background first, right over in the distance, very quickly, nothing too. So this is my sort of distant tree line, right over in the distance, and again, just a guide, nothing too technical from a drawing point of view. The drawing that I'm doing here is just guidelines really for my paint strokes, quite literally. I've got a tree over here, I'll put that in there. He's going to go there. I've got a sort of a very dramatic shadow line across this area of the field. It's going to be around here. Just very loosely indicate that there. And we have another one coming down this area. That's enough on that line. There is the tree. He's around here somewhere. And it's going to be sort of and that's as much as I need to do for that tree. That's just a guide again. Nice and loose. Almost looks like painting by numbers. With the Fabriano watercolour paper, people have often asked me, you know, do I stretch you'll know what I mean by that if you're an artist, particularly watercolours. Do I stretch the paper onto a board beforehand? I've never done it, basically because the strength of this substrate, this Fabriano paper, is so good. I've never felt a need to wet the paper fully and then stretch it onto a board and put the masking tape round. Each to their own. People may want to do that. I don't do that. I cut that out of the process and just paint straight onto the paper. What we're going to do, we're going to start with putting the wash on. So I need lots of water. Nice clean glass of water here to start the day. So while that's working its way in, we can get our other brushes here, and we'll mix up some colour. So mixing that nice colour for the wash to do the sky. So I'm just mixing a little bit of that cadmium yellow into here to bring a little bit of warmth, and as long as I use a little bit of the red as well, it brings that warm tone in. I'm going to bring that in down here. Just put some darkness and more of an ochre-y, warm tone into some of those clouds just in this area. And you can see that coming into there now, so it's almost signifies where the sunlight and the warmth in the sky is coming from over on the left hand side of this painting, which when I was out signified where the sun was going down or the sun was starting to lower in the sky. To the west, this would be east. Another fantastic thing about Fabriano is the way that you can actually mop back or soak up, take away some of the colour that you put down just to bring back a little bit of white. And I often do this in skies, particularly for clouds. It'd be very, very difficult to do it with a brush, but you can just pull back a little bit of almost mopping it up with the tissue, toilet tissue, and you can define your cloud formations. Just get a little bit back there. There we go. That'll do. Let's not overwork it too much. That's fine. Okay, so we'll let that settle down and dry off a little bit. Now I'm going to come over to the other side, on this right hand side of the paper now, and put my wash on there. And this is going to be just slowly blending into that left hand side that's starting to dry now. I'm going to go back into this darker area now. We're constantly working in this area while we've still got sort of an amount of wetness on the paper. The beautiful Fabriano just soaks it up and holds it like a sponge. It's fabulous. I can keep going back into here and just adding in on top of the wet areas a little bit more wet. Some more colour. Keep going, and it holds it beautifully. Going in here now. those clouds. Fabulous. Love the colour there. Okay, love it. Really nice. What I love about it is the paper. Just head and shoulders. As I said in the previous videos, lots and lots of fantastic papers out there. But for me, having used this now since early 1990s, so what's that? 30 odd years, never let me down. I think that'll do. That's enough. So that's that side. That's the west side where the sun was, and I will come back to that in a bit. I'll probably use a wash just to warm up down this area here. And we're going to concentrate on this side now. Okay, so while I've been waiting for the wash on the right hand side to dry, just sneaked in a nice cup of tea. Essential for any artist. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to leave that there just for now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to let that dry completely, and then I'm going to come back to it, and I might just put a little bit more cloud on a second wash, but I really do need that to dry now. I'm happy with that. Got some nice tone in there. What I will do is when I do come back, I'm going to put a little bit of lower warmth in there to introduce that warm cast that's coming across this cornfield from a west hand side where this sun is over here, but obviously it's out of shot over here. It is casting some lovely evening glow light over there, so I will warm up this bottom half shortly. All right, so I've let the wash, the overall wash there, and that cloud effect dry now. Just touching it gently. It's still slightly damp. It's not wet, obviously, just still slightly damp. But what I'm going to do now is, suppose you could call this a wash on a wash. I'm just mixing my colour, and I'm going to put just one more layer of cloud formation in this next wash, and this will give it a little bit of definition. Here we go. Again, nice and quick, nothing too laboured. This time, I'm going to paint directly onto a pretty dry surface, and it's almost going to be the other way around. So the first wash was a wet on wash, wet all over, and then applied colour to that, and we've got this dreamy effect. And in many cases, I might leave that should a sky look like that, and quite often skies do look that way. They look dreamy and they look cloudy and atmospheric. But this one, there's going to be a bit more mood in this with some defined clouds. So just a quick look at the palette there. You can see the cadmium yellow. We've got the alizarin crimson here. My ultramarine blues over here with a little bit of neutral tint. So this is for the colder and the darker elements of the picture that will bring about this. And then over here we've just got that warm area that we will use this sort of mix for. 4 colours. That's it. Okay, I'm happy with that. I think we'll just smooth a little bit of this out here. Just in here, straight in. Done. Happy with that. I'm going to leave that to dry again, and then all I'm going to do to finish off is just, as I said earlier, bring a little bit of warmth in over here to indicate that sun over in this west here that was actually setting with that cadmium yellow. It's going to give us that lovely glow. But I don't want this too strong. It's just like a faint glow on the horizon. Nothing too much. I'm just going to take a little bit of that across there. All the way across. Bring some warmth in there. And just hint a little bit of it up here as well. Not too much. That's good. It's quite an immediate medium. You've got to act. You've got to get your colours on there with intent and your brush strokes, because once it's on, it's on. But the Fabriano gives you that little bit of manoeuvre, but you've got to be quick. Nice clean glass. So as we're going to work into the foreground. This is similar to a wash, really, in many ways. This is a smaller brush and a little less paint, but I'm not going onto the wash of water that I'd already laid onto the paper. So we're getting more of a rough feel. And I'm laying down the solid colour here. And this is my base colour for the cornfield. Nice and bright and lovely and warm. first wash there for the foreground and the ground, the field, and then going to be the trees in here. We'll let that dry now, and then we're going to paint over that once it's dry, and start putting some form and life into this field. Such a dramatic sky with all the light that's been created will invariably create a dramatic picture overall, dramatic light, and therefore will consequentially have an effect on the foreground. Sorry, so it's going to be quite contrasted in that. So, the first impression of the trees there, I'm just going to leave for a few minutes just to soak in, and then I'm just going to apply just a little bit more colour in there. I'm going to just put a touch more finish just in here. Not too much. Same here. Real sort of deep over here. This area here. Okay. That's enough. What I'll do now is I'm just going to put some other tones in there, just to Okay, I'm now going to this tree here. We're going to pop him in. I'm going to go with a slightly finer brush now. So that's the way I approach my trees. I just put the branches in first. Come back in and just redefine some of the branches. There we go. Oh, there's a tree. I will leave him there. Maybe just a touch of the detail, just on the edges here, just to define it. Especially with it being such a contrasty scene. And now I'm going to do is just in some absolute colour darkness in here, just in here. Now I'm going to do exactly the same over this side, around here, with these trees too. Using the side of the brush there just to give it almost like a scraping feel across the paper, the roughness of the paper, just to help it put some definition in and make it look more like foliage. Quite a difficult technique at first, but once you've done it a few times, you're able to get a grip, shall we say. So a little bit more height in this one. Okay. And as you saw in this tree here, the trick now is to keep it simple. Let's add in some darkness. There we go. We'll go back to that in just a few minutes once it's dried a little more, and just put a bit of darkness in there. Just pull a little bit of that. This is a good thing you can do while you're waiting for things to dry. If you just feel you've gone a little bit too far with darkness and you just want to pull it back a bit, just get that tissue in there, just lift a little bit of that colour back out. So, I mean, look at the palette now, with dropping in a lot of ochres and darks onto the painting there for the trees and all those browns. You can see what's it's had an effect on my colour palette. It may look like a complete mess and a load of muddy colours and things, but in there I have managed to find quite a lot of rich detail for the colours, from those colours there. Just mixing my cadmium yellow here because most of the foreground really is a cornfield. I've put a little bit of neutral tint in earlier, so it's just slightly ochre-y. It's got the tinges of brown. And then just here we're going to bring in a bit of that red, darken it up a little bit. to darken this up, firstly a little bit of ultramarine and adding that into the red. We can see there. Just here. So while that's still quite wet, we'll bring a little bit in there, bit of darkness. We're just going to bring in little bits of detail, just not too much here. And all we're doing is trying to give the impression of the roughness of the field and the ground, but we don't want to overdo it too much. Just little bits here, that's all it needs. That's it. You can see how the beauty of the Fabriano paper helps. Give that impression. Down here in the foreground we're going to just put a little bit of foliage in there, which was evident in the view, in the field of view. So down here in the foreground we've just got some foliage and we're going to do no more than just suggest it, really. So again, using the side of the brush just to try and help create the impression of sort of like a thicket of hedgerow, all manner of thorns and thistles going on, and something that I really didn't care to get involved in because I would have been scratched to death, no doubt about it. I kept out of the way. But we're just going to put the first impressions of this in, and that's all it's going to be, an impression really, nothing more. But I'm going to put the first sort of like impressions of it down as a rough wash. Okay, we're going to bring some green in, bring the greens in down here. Let's fill the end. Don't want to do too much more now. Okay, let's put some depth into it now. So we'll bring in some red. I'm going to bring in some blue with the red. It's got like a mauvey purple, and then a little bit of the neutral tint. to add some depth in here. An impression there of a hedgerow. Okay, let's go back for a little bit of green. Just put that green in there. A bit more green. That's it, just flood that lovely area. Take advantage of this beautiful paper, how it holds all that colour within those wash areas. Just going to finish off now by just introducing very fine elements. Of some sort of branches and just twigs and maybe grasses. Nothing too much. Well, that's the end of this week's episode, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I did. Thanks for tuning in. Next week we're going to be out on location and hopefully we've got some nice weather as well to make for a really, really nice painting. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining the channel and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.